Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. Bitcoin touching around 85,000 American dollars. Let's go through what we're looking at today. Of course, friends, we have now concluded the week. We're now pushing on through April, right, that month. This is the actual short-term chart of Bitcoin, 12-hour chart. So it's looking like it's ready to curl up. I think what we're now praying for is some sort of like pop-up or something before we like maybe jick around until we move up. That's what we hope happens, of course. Might depend on the S&P 500 if it comes back down for its other part, which includes maybe some sort of retest down the line. I do still believe all the ETH ratios for all the altcoins, this is Chainlink, they will catch up at some point. Ethereum is still bonked. Yeah, it's very sad to see. Not much else we can do about it except hope and cope. Remember, because we are now on the 5th red monthly candle for Ethereum, friends, everything is bonked. You don't get any type of like, there's nothing that's going to come good in this month. Nothing. There'll be time meter news and stuff out here. Just nothing, friends. Every coin, PulseChain, any altcoin, it doesn't really matter. All the stories are bad. Things look volatile and shaky. It is what it is. With Ethereum, 5 red monthly candles, that's what you get. Okay, so we just, you might be saying, hey, when does it get better? You just need more monthly candles to print. That's what it comes down to, which is just it's another way of saying just more time. The Bitcoin dominance is still screaming up towards, it's now filled this wick up here. This is because of ETH BTC very, very, very low. I guess at some point it is going to come and tank, but yeah, we're all slaves to the business ISM cycle. And yeah, this is the others BTC ratio. Again, filling the wick, destruction, death. It's sad. I don't know what else really to do, friends. We're just all hoping and coping that it all works out, really. And now, baby dolls, I want to quickly, I just remembered something actually. Sol ETH is absolutely mooning once again because of ETH's reluctancy to ever go up. Remember, it's now come back to when President Trump launched his token. I guess for everyone here in Solana celebrating, but actually, friends, every single thing against Ethereum is going up. Everything. There's been a lot of wallets we've been watching. Man, a lot of them have been like OG people in Ethereum have been dumping. People who've held for like 4 or 5 years, they put in like, you know, 30K. Now they've got like 8 million. Like really people who bought like $7, $100, $50, they're all dumping a crap load, which is it's quite funny to see. They're all just like totally giving up. What you can do is just have a look at that ratio as well. I think I saw blockchain backer as well, friends. What you can do is look at the Ethereum dominance, which is funny. So the Ethereum dominance has come all the way back here. Look when they decide to sell because they're a bunch of jeets. That's wild, man. The Ethereum dominance, it comes literally right back to the low and they're like, oh, okay, cool, this is a great time to buy. Do you know how dangerous this is, by the way? You know if this thing just goes back up here, friends, just up here, you've lost 20% of your position instantly in like a month. You'll never be able to get back this ETH. But look at this. It does some sort of like double bottom here and then it continues moving up. Maybe we'll do something out like that as well. It's kind of funny. I think Ethereum's dominance as well might be going down as other coins and stuff come out. But man, it is such a complete letdown to just see this whole thing come back, which is very sad to see. But it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. Now, looking at macro and stuff out here, we have the S&P 500 still hanging around 5,300. Is where it's pretty much finished off. Usually, I mean, like there's always people saying, yeah, it could be one more stab down or something. We have to see how crypto is going to hold up through that time. I think it's very interesting as well if we go and check out the global liquidity cycle, friends. Let's put it up. Let's put the Pumpy G music together. So this is it, friends. So actually what's happening now is this is the fractal, that 106-day fractal that everyone's been watching. But look at the money pumping as well. The money printer is like being cranking up as well. So this, I guess, implies like $125,000 Bitcoin price, which is quite interesting because it goes right to the fib. Goes literally right. This is a log chart, but if you put on a linear chart, it's about 130. So it's quite funny. Actually, it goes right to the fib. We don't know what happens after that point. Assuming this thing holds up, which we pray it does, that would imply a good May, June, and July month as well as you move out into the future. Actually, this is like cranking still into August, but that's what could happen. Like you're good at the end of the July, everyone still thinks it's good. That's why they're buying, but it actually kind of tops out towards the end of it. But we don't know yet. We have to see. We have to see how much money printing and stuff has been put in. I think that's actually, it's good, but like the reality of the situation as well, man. Like we had 5 red months in a row. Like, oh wow, now you're going to get 3. Who gives a crap, right? It's been a horrific experience overall, but we're still hopeful that we are going to make it. What I'm now going to do is just quickly show you the PulseChain PLS prices. They're not moving much at all. The core coins 2%, 1%, etc. We have pDAI smackdown again, friends, but it's hyper volatile. Why? There's been a lot of PulseChain Pioneer action stuff out here. This is pDAI, so you just see the candles moving along. This is a 4-hour chart. What I'm going to do is just show you on this is actually a daily chart now. So what's been happening, friends, has been actually big moves. I'll have to go through some of it with you as well. So basically, Cattie, they've done some burning, and by some, and they've done like a lot of burning. And it's pretty much they've been operating in the background. We don't have any confirmation from them that they're working for someone out here, but I guess everybody's just going on and playing along with the story. And I have the transactions here with what's happened, friends. So they burned, as you can see, Teddy Bear here, and then they have burned as well another token, Treasury Bill. So a lot of their ratios have been moving around, and pretty much what we've seen is I think that first goal was the pStables match the ratios. Okay, they match the ratios. So this is PUSDC to pDAI. Remember when pDAI got cracked, look how high the ratio went. It was only here for like, 60 minutes or whatever. And look at it, it's come all the way back down. So pretty much this is like generational. I think some people swapped like 500,000 PUSDC for like 5 million pDAI at that extreme amount out here. So now it's come back around 1. Okay, let me put on just the daily chart. So you can see this big spike. It's around 1 now. See, it's just coming back. It's sitting around 1. That's PUSDC. Now we look at pTether, which is PUSDT. As you can see right here, it's around 0.977. So it's hovering around 1. It's coming towards 1 as well. I guess that next goal is for them to get together. Now, the thing is, friends, we're just going off Cattie's words, and she may or may not be working for Maria in the background, the Atropa dev. So we don't truly know. But basically what they've hinted and suggested is the goal is to get the pStables, okay, they're together. And then the next goal is, and it's actually happened right now, was to get this Treasury Bill this is the Treasury Bill pDAI ratio. Okay, so this is Bill pDAI ratio. Okay. So I'll put a hyphen here. Bill pDAI, right? Notice how it's near 1. Well, it was sitting at like 0.45. Yes, so the goal was for this, it was actually much lower. Look at this, it was all the way down here. It's come all the way near 1 now. So now that you have Treasury Bill and the 3 stable coins pegged, soft pegs, I don't know what happens next, but I think something else is going to move. They actually had, remember, she had a lot of PUSDC, and then she's actually collapsed that back down here. So they're in line. I forgot what the next part is. That I think the final part was when Atropa goes up now, everything is in a ratio, and they're all linked together. But we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, friends. That's why a lot of people are getting a bit nervous. We don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. We don't know. We have to wait. Remember, there were some Richard Hart tweets as well, where he basically says, oh, it looks like something's happening. The cancer thing is finally ended, right? So we are progressing the story. But that's why I wanted to give you this big update. So remember the Vietnamese kid, friends? Remember the Vietnamese kid's Dong? Well, he's gone now. Like it was a malicious actor. Someone is minting and doing this stuff. And so what they did is they shut down the MakerDAO. Okay, so that's why it feels like it is some sort of orchestration. Like, oh no, there's a problem here. Insert Cattie. You're like, you've never heard of the dude. You know what I mean? Cattie comes in with a strap on, and then she gets given access to MakerDAO, and then she starts pushing all these buttons. She shuts down all the MakerDAO. Now pDAI can't get minted. And now the exploiter's gone. Oh, goodbye, exploiter. Their wallet's just gone. Okay, now what? Now she's like moving some ratios and stuff around. She minted pMaker. So things are happening in the background, friends. You don't need to understand. There's a lot of moving parts, but you just look like, okay, are you trying to tear stuff down, or are we moving forward? So it feels like we're moving forward. And hopefully in due time, the pDAI price will recover back this move. Now, a lot of people are also questioning about like, hey, does that mean we have to rely on this Maria guy who can just dump everything to zero? Look, man, I know it's tough, friends. I just believe it's all gonna kind of work out. And actually what I'm seeing now, what I'm feeling that it looks barren and empty right now. And then as time goes on, seemingly natural and organic ideas and protocols will erect, and they will all support a pDAI $1 peg. So there'll be different borrowing compounds, different yield farms, whatever they are. They start to all work towards it. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. And if you look at it you look at the forest, you're like, oh, someone had this plan from the start. But if you look close, it looks organic. It looks like, oh, you know, for example, oh no, the chain's getting taken down. Oh no, someone comes and fixes it. Now what? Then you wait a few days. And then maybe I think of like, oh, Maria might release something. Like, oh, Maria might release another application or whatever it is. And then maybe other people start doing them. And then they connect with it too. And so it creates this chain reaction. So it looks like, oh, we had this thing and now it's like our own story where everybody participates. And that's why it kind of tells me the pDAI, if I got to this, friends, remember, it's not financial advice. Okay, literally, I peg my own nipples on the internet. Okay, it tells me the odds, if it was going to work, the odds of like straight to $1 to me is very, very, very low. Where I just wake up at $1. Okay, that's the odds. I want to be wrong, but I feel like, I'm just guessing, right? I feel like this natural organic schizo stuff is going to be like, if it was to go, it would be like that, right? Why? Well, just everything I told you. Where it looks like, oh, more protocols appear, more people come up, more applications come, different farms appear. Some big whales may or may not come and help and do some incentives, and like something gets redeployed, whatever they are. It looks like a city's being built over time. It's kind of like, friends, you break down a city, but really you're God. You've cracked the city yourself, and then you are whispering to different city dwellers, hey, you know what's a good idea? Go build a school. Okay, I'm pretty much, this is what I feel it would might be Richard Hart in the background. That's why. Just my guess. Okay, feels like, you know, okay, break the city, and then I go, hey, you know, Joe, you go and start building a school, and you go, oh, Penelope, you go build the family daycare. Yes, and I go, oh, Tommy, you go build a pizza shop. And so literally, because that's what you look at it from afar, you're like, that's really weird, man. Some giant hand from the cloud comes and smacks this city, and then people come and just start building it up again. It looks like so natural and organic, but like, that's why some people are seeing a hurricane, they think, oh, it's just natural causes. But you and I'm feeling like, I don't think it's a natural hurricane, man. It looks like God literally just came down, just wiped it himself, and now he's orchestrating it. But that's part, I guess, the conspiracy and stuff. I hate conspiracy because, like, you're thinking, look, also what's very apparent along the way is we don't get like 10 steps done. It's more like one step is done, the community agrees, and then the next logical step comes a bit after that. It's like one by one, where everyone agrees and it looks logical, and like, oh, that's the next step. You know, we climbed this step, now we've got to go over here, right? Which is exactly what we're seeing now. Oh, now Cattie actually said, oh, our role might be done soon. Okay, we've done some of these ratio stuff. Okay, maybe someone else comes and takes over. You know, so that's the type of stuff we're hearing. And I know it's very, very wishy-washy, but you're dealing with the first cycle unicorn. We've never seen anything like this before. So that's the type of world we basically have to adapt to. Now, man, I'm going to crack on with some macro news as well. So obviously you saw PulseChain Atropa ecosystem watches Cattie move her money around, treasury bill, teddy bear. Then they did some emergency stuff. They're like, oh, I have to help. Right? Also, man, I kind of feel like, because she came out of nowhere and she looked skits, because she came out, she was basically saying, we have to shut it down. There's a malicious actor. We have to shut it down. The malicious actor can ruin it, right? She looked a bit skits. Why? Because we're like, dude, I don't think it's a Vietnamese kid. I think it's Richard. I don't think you need to worry. But now it looks like another team, maybe related to Maria, has directly told her, yo, it's malicious. Here, I'm going to give you the access to go fix it. Okay? That's what I think has happened. It kind of feels like that's happened. She was literally told by them, no, it's malicious, and here's the keys. Here's the keys. Here's the tools, right? Go build everything. Here's Spoonie. Go fix everything. Go defeat all the demons. Go like, you know, construct this and go save the chain. And then she's done that. She's carried the torch. Okay, now that's what it feels like. And we're like, a malicious actor appears and then stops being a malicious actor and just lets Cattie come in and fix stuff. Doesn't look like that was random to me, okay? That's what seems to be happening right now. She's just gonna pause and then something else is gonna appear. More macro. President Trump says the US will make a deal with China. And these could just be wishy-washy words as well, friends. If you read these as well, NVIDIA CEO Jensen stresses the importance of the Chinese market and he hopes to continue to cooperate. He have the President Trump meeting Italian Prime Minister Mrs. Meloni today to discuss a new trade deal. Judge rules Google operates illegally, blah, blah, blah. President Trump says he's very confident about a new trade deal with the estrogen union out here. So just, everyone's going back and forth still. We're kind of like waiting for that next saga. We're probably going to phase out as well, friends, out of the tariff stuff. And it's probably going to move into like earnings as earnings come. They're like, oh, what about these earnings? And a new story narrative comes out as these things kind of like just figure themselves out. This is also big news, right? So President Trump says he wants Fed Chair Jerome Powell out. He says he'll be out of there real fast. So what actually I'm going to do is I'm going to check the interest rate. So friends, President Trump, remember, man, my like cute little prophecy. I'm like, man, I really think he's trying to fire the dude. He's really trying to fire President J. Powell. And friends, I might not be able to get this, but I got to do this critical information. I found out today. I did not know this. Okay, in 2019, the U.S. Fed made an article basically giving the middle finger to Trump when he was president, and they called for other world central banks, do not enable him. Don't let him spend stuff. The U.S. Fed hates him. They actually wrote an article. It was Dudley, and the guy's got Dud in his name in it. That's wild, man. That's wild. Now it looks like, well, the whole Fed hates Donald Trump, etc., etc. Very interesting, right? Look at this. There's an 86% chance of no change. Man, what a joke. Let's check out TruFlation, friends, as well. TruFlation is the real inflation method. Man, it's down to like 1%. Look at this, US down to like 1.36%. And the guy's leaving it, oh yeah, rates are high. So I think I can see what happens, kind of. It feels like they're going to try to cut the rates fast. Trump will find a way, but then there'll be a recession later on or some sort of crack. And then Trump will say, it's because of Jay Powell. He never cut fast enough. We told him, he squeezed the American public. And it's just pretty much going to see that cat and mouse game being played. Look at this, man. Inflation going down. Now, of course, the price level doesn't go down. It's the rate of change out here because people are getting squeezed. Yeah, and President Trump, he's calling Jay Powell like slow. He goes, you're slow to move. The slow-moving Fed, which is kind of hilarious to see. I have his tweet right here. The ECB is expected to cut interest rates for the 7th time, and yet too late. Jerome Powell of the Fed, who is always too late and wrong, yesterday issued a report which was another and typical complete mess. Oil prices are down, groceries, even eggs are down, and the USA is getting rich on tariffs. Too late should have lowered interest rates like the ECB long ago, but he should certainly lower them now. Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. You gotta remember, it's stacked against the Fed, okay? The scum Fed. So they wrote articles to try ruin his presidency. Okay, in 2019, friends, they've never done anything like that. US Fed has never, because that's why there's always been an insider elected. I guess Donald Trump's the first time you didn't get an insider. Or you maybe got a different type of insider. You got to admit that, man. They never wrote anything like that about anybody. They said, oh, we got to work together. We got to work together. And the government always did. Now they're saying, oh, don't enable him. Don't enable him. That was in 2019, okay? And then they had to walk back the comments because they were getting a lot of backlash for that as well. So, and as well, friends, remember, they cut rates 3 times into Joe Biden's presidency. So he held rates for a year and a half. He's like, oh, let's cut 3 times right into Joe Biden's presidency to boost up the stock market to get higher odds of Joe Biden getting reelected. And then they're just like, oh, I'm going to pause it on you anyway. So it's kind of funny, man. Too late, Jerome Powell, huh? Start cutting rates, you dingleberry. I need this Ethereum of over $4,000 before 2026. So we are starting to see more and more of this. I mean, look at this, friends. President Trump says Fed's chair termination can't come fast enough. Oh, man, it's going to be wild out here. Cut the rates, you prick. So it is interesting how these things are playing out, friends, because ultimately we're seeing some people like, hey, I thought you were all insiders against us. Maybe they have some ego bruising and stuff out here. I wonder what's going to happen, man, because Trump was literally, man, I've been reporting that he got, I think Judge Roberts, he's approving him for power. Like, yeah, if you want to sack him, get rid of him. So what will Trump have to do? Say that the guy's incompetent? Man, that'd be wild. By the way, what a maverick as well. It's like, US Fed trying to stop me, huh? Trying to stop me from having the greatest presidency run ever. I'm trying to pump the bags. Get rid of this guy. That is quite the tale. I also have a screenshot of the Atropa ecosystem P stablecoins, friends, from PulseChain. See how they're all towards these numbers? They're starting to get towards. That's a bit higher than what it is right now, just to give you an update. Checking the pDAI price. Yeah, so it's hanging around here. So you see some sloshing and some moving around this liquidity. Ultimately, no one really knows what's going on. Like it's just but here's the thing, even to me, man, it's just liquidity bonding. Like okay, you have these ratios, but people can move in and out of them. Okay, then what? I guess we just don't have all the parts of the plan, And then you probably probably wondering hey man, I didn't sign up for Maria and Atropa. Yeah, but this is maybe this is what it has to be, man. Maybe Richard has to pass the torch. It looks like it's Maria now, and he's passing a torch to Cattie. Goes back to Maria, pass to Cattie, then more people come. That one might be what happened. It's maybe Atropa is like the MakerDAO protocol of it, and then over time other people build other stuff and they put other incentives. It could be it. They put other incentives out there to promote things. And by the way, if you're new as to what's happening, friends, I'll play some bizarre objects. I'll put some music for you a bit. Pretty much, look, when people swap and trade tokens, there's a fee and there's a tax. There's a tax, right? The slippage. I guess what Maria's done is set it up so that the fees and the buying, the burning, the arbitrage, instead of sending to exchanges to dump, they are collected and they go reroute into places. Yeah, it's like a liquidity map. So maybe they keep rerouting. Maybe they keep dragging up pDAI. Maybe. Okay. But here's the thing. Ultimately though, it looks cool, yeah. But the truth is this: if there's no activity, nothing happens. If you don't have people buying and swapping, and nothing happens. So if you have a bear market in the crypto, no one's swapping. Okay, you're not getting any buy and burn fees anyway. So you're instead every day you're adding only 15 cents to the bid because there's no one trading. Okay, but then what? Just there's a bunch of stuff that's unpegged. So we don't know. But yeah, probably the story it's going to keep twisting and turning it always keeps twisting and turning and continues out here. We don't have all the answers. We probably never will until maybe then things start moving around. I've also just seen, minutes ago as well, Cattie's wallet has burned 20 million pDAI. So probably just sending a signal to the market as to what's going on with these ratios and things moving around. But yeah, so everyone's got question marks because remember there was a story twist, right? Where we thought someone's going to come and fix stuff and stop the inflation by using MakerDAO tokens. But actually what happened was they stopped the inflation by shutting down MakerDAO. That was the story twist. So it was from Decentralized Me. It's basically he got that right. He's okay, we're going to fix it. But we were just guessing, it looks like because they're all working on MakerDAO, that's going to be the thing. No, just shut it all off. That's crazy. It's kind of you see, let's say, friends, you need to go get dog food for your dog. And you realize, oh no, I'm going to put a stop to one of the ingredients they're using is making my dog diarrhea at home. So you go to the doggy food plant, the factory, and then everyone's expecting you to find the ingredient and stop it. But actually what you do is just unplug all the machines and you just shut down the whole thing. You kick everyone out. You know what I mean? That's the story twist. You're cool, I've stopped it. Now what? Okay, that's why we don't know what happens next. Could there be a redeployment? Everyone can speculate or just get this total guessing, but probably the answers get revealed to us soon enough. I've got some comments from Cattie from one of her chats. She said, it's kind of funny, I'm reading this now. It's going to be completely consistent with what I've told you by coincidence. Okay, she said, now that we've burned all of it, I'm going to be honest with all of you. This was all calculated. They anticipated someone to full rug pDAI via a governance attack and a full rug to bring all the stables to parity at a way lower price point. I didn't want to see that happen, to be honest. Okay, so there you go. She basically said this was all calculated. All of it was calculated. She's basically kind of alluding that. Also, I think I've seen some hints as well. She's like, our part is now done. It's kind of funny, man. Just these random things appear and just these characters. But we're having the Vietnamese donkey. He's now gone. Literally, oh, no more exploiter. Now it's Cattie. Oh, my role is now gone. And like, it's just, yeah, it's interesting, right? We'll see what happens. Whatever. Got some funny news as well, friends. So CZ declares that BNB is a meme coin. BNB trading will soon be lying on a Kraken, which is funny. I never knew Kraken didn't even have BNB because they've been listing like $4 meme coin, Dave Portnoy stuff that just rug to zero and get abandoned out here. So BNB is a meme coin. This is CZ out here with his outfit. Salam alaikum. Having out fun. 4 is fun. It's fun. That's awesome. Awesome. Congratulations to CZ. Also, Sammy Chica, Bonnie Blue, Shame Edition. Oh, man. This is definitely made by a girl. You can just tell. They're like, you're just getting all the attention. Hazardous. Virus. What's this? STDs included. Dirty panties. I like this. This is creative. Look at this. A whiteboard mark with all the guys. Number 1051. Well, I wonder what it would have felt like out here. So I didn't know, friends. Bonnie Blue. Very, very controversial out there. What's going to happen for the rest of crypto now? We have PulseChain still sitting at 73% below SAC price. Nothing's going to happen. Look, with Ethereum, dude, just you're under $3,000. You're at 1,000. Pretty much if you're near 1,500, you piece of crap. We can't do anything. You got to get it to $3,000 plus, and then we're going to make it. Like, subscribe, belly button, or catch you soon.